Christi Bintliff, and thanks for tuning back into LEAP2 Solution. This is a follow-up from the video before regarding your patient base. Do you know what your active patient base number is? Do you know how many new patients that you have coming into the practice each month? And do you know how many patients are being inactivated? Because this determines how your practice is growing. Most practices will focus on the amount of new patients that they're getting in per month, and they're going and confident and excited that they are seeing 80 patients per month. But then when I ask the question, do you know how many you're inactivating? I get that puzzled look all the time. It's important that you know the inactivated number as well. Because if you've got 40 patients that you're seeing in the month and you're inactivating 20 of them, then your net is only 20. You're only growing by 20. It's kind of deflating, isn't it? Because here you are this whole time, you're thinking I'm growing by 40 or 60 or 80, whatever the case may be. And now you're telling me that if I take that number and I start looking at my inactivated and I do all this, that I'm not really here at my 40, I'm more at 20. How depressing is that? It just it is so that you have situational awareness, because that is the true number that your practice is growing. Your new patients minus your inactive equals the growth rate of the practice per month. It's also important that you look at that active number. A lot of times, what I've seen is that the practice will not be profitable. They won't understand why. They keep saying that they have a significant amount of active patients. And while the report will show that number to be a large number most of the time, the reality of it is that that may not be the true active number. What happens a lot of times is when a patient leaves the practice to go to relocate, change dentist, whatever the case may be, or deceased, that record may not be inactivated. And so you're just going around doing your normal day-to-day thinking your practice number is growing and growing and growing, when the reality of it is there could be a significant amount of patients that are listed in your software that really need to be inactivated because they're not coming in. So if you're in that situation and you haven't been inactivating like you should be, it's easy to fix. You just start running reports. You start going. For me, what works for me is I go through each patient that I have that I'm looking at and just making sure that I'm inactivating correctly. And that's really important. And I've encountered that several times, and I've found it to be true that the number is not accurate. Now, accurate can be 100%. I always say 98% accuracy, because if you inactivate account, someone calls, you have to activate it to be able to view something. Human error always happens. It is easy to forget to go back in and inactivate it. So 98% accuracy. Also making sure that the patients that you have in your practice, if you are a multi-doctor, that they are assigned to the correct doctor. So there's so many moving parts to this conversation. I could go on and on and on for days. If you want more information, you need my assistance in any way, please, let me know. Contact me at leap2solutions@gmail.com, and I can see if I can help you with that. Thanks for tuning in.